guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today, and if you're new here, my name is Pip and I'm a North East mummy vlogger, and I make all sorts of videos. I do lots of speed cleaning, I do a what's new in Primark every month, lots of different content over here on my channel. I would love for you to stick around and press that red subscribe button down below. Today's video is my top 5 tips on budgeting and how to save money. So we are a single income family. I gave up my career I think four years ago now. I was an office manager, I worked at university, and when I had my daughter Izzy, we decided that we would be financially better off if I gave up my job and looked after Izzy full time, and Anthony, my husband, was the breadwinner. So his income is the only money we get coming into the house. So I know all about budgeting. So my first tip is to know exactly what you've got coming in and what you've got going out. So I use a spreadsheet to keep track of all my direct debits and utility bills that we pay each month. But it doesn't have to be that complicated. You could do something just in a notebook, write everything down. As long as you include everything, so all your utilities, so gas, electricity, water, telephone, TV, and then any regular monthly direct debits. So it might be gym membership, or it could be a phone bill, things like that. So anything that you pay on a regular basis every month, list it all down, write down what the company is. So it could be Scottish Power. Write down the date it's coming out of your account and also the amount, and I also add in any account numbers as well, just so it's all in one place. I then add all that up and I take it away from our income, which is Anthony's wage, and then we are left with the money that we can use for petrol, food, days out, clothes, anything that isn't a direct debit or a utility that's coming out of our account. So my second tip is to have a good look at your utilities and your outgoings and see if you could perhaps change supplier to someone who is cheaper, or maybe you're paying out for things that you don't necessarily use, like a gym membership or Netflix and Sky, and perhaps you don't watch both of them, things like that. So you can have a good look at what exactly it is you're paying for. Also, now might be the time to switch utility suppliers. So I've recently switched from Scottish Power to Bulb, and I've saved myself £100 a month. I've never heard of Bulb before, but if I'm going to save myself £100 a month, I'm going to switch. And if it's going to take me just a couple of minutes, I did it on USwitch. It took me a couple of minutes, they did it all, bish bash bosh, saved myself £100 a month. My third tip is to only use cash. So once you've figured out your incomings and your outgoings, and you figured out how much money you've got left over for things like petrol and food, bus fares or meals out, clothing, that sort of thing, withdraw that cash from your account and then split that into the number of weeks you have throughout the month. So what I do is I have an envelope for petrol, so we know that we spend about £50 a month on petrol, so I'll put that to one side, and then whatever's left I split that into either 4 or 5 weeks, depending on how many weeks are in the month, and put those into envelopes with each week number on and the amount which is in each envelope. And then every week I'll take an envelope out the drawer, pop it in my bag, and leave my card at home, so I'm not tempted to spend anything on my card. It is so easy, I think, nowadays, just to, you know, ping it on contactless. It feels like you're not even having to put your pin in or nothing. It's just beep, and then you've paid for something. Leave your card at home, take the cash, so you can only spend what you've got. And when it's gone for that week, that's it, it's gone. My fourth tip is to do a meal plan and a shopping list before you go and do your weekly big shop. So the first thing to do is to look at what you've got in the house that you can make a meal out of. So have a look in your cupboards, in the fridge, in the freezer. What have you got already in that you can make a couple of meals out of? Once you have figured out what meals you can make with the food you've already got in the house, then you can make a shopping list and a meal plan for the rest of the days of that week. And then when you go shopping, stick to the list. Don't buy anything that is not on the list. When you're thinking of what meals to cut, have a think about how much the ingredients are going to cost as well. So if you're on a really tight budget one week, you could do things like jacket potatoes with different fillings, you could do pasta dishes, you could make a big stew and then freeze it. Another good tip is to batch cook. So batch cook like a beef stew or a casserole, something like that, a pasta bake even. Portion it up, pop it into the freezer, and then you've got meals for the following week as well. And the fifth and final tip is, before you make any purchase, have a think, do we need this item or do we want it? And if you're really trying to stick to a budget that week or that month, if it's just a want, perhaps don't get it. Perhaps get it the following month when maybe you'll have a bit more spare cash. If it's a need, try and think of ways you can get it cheaper. Are there any voucher codes on the internet or any deals, or can you get it secondhand? I am a huge fan of Facebook Marketplace. I have got so many brilliant things off there, and it's such a great way to find items that you want or need at a really low cut price. I've bought wellies for Izzy, I've bought bits of furniture, I've sold things as well, so it's a really good, useful resource, especially if you're on a tight budget. I hope you found today's video helpful. These are just a few things that we do to save money and budget as a family, but if you've got any other saving money ideas or budgeting ideas, please leave them below. I would love to know. I'm always interested in saving money and getting a really good deal. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye. Before I go, I just want to apologise for the traffic noise in this video. I'm filming in my bedroom, which I don't normally do, but I've just done my hair and my camera's here, so I thought why not. And also the crap behind me, please ignore that. I haven't tidied up. This is just the reality of of life. And also the lighting is pretty poor as well, so yeah, I'm a professional YouTuber, don't you know. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later.